Hey guys, it's Jessica Hayes. So a few weeks ago on Instagram, I asked you if you wanted me to recreate this look that I did some time ago on my channel, a look from a while ago that wasn't even with cruelty-free products. So this is my revamped version of how I wear a navy smoky eye. And I also have had a few of you guys curious about these little instant eye lift tapes that I have been using lately, so I'm going to be demoing how to use those as well. So if you guys want to see how I created this look with all of this extra lid space, then keep watching. Alright, so first let's play around with this little instant eye lift. I have been using this a few times lately, and obviously some of you have been curious to see how this works. So the one that I have is super duper old. My boss gave this to me and he has had it in his collection for a long time, but I believe this brand still exists. So I'll try to find a link for these ones exactly below for you. But basically what you get in the kit is two little pieces like this, and that is what wraps around the back of your head, and then some little stickies. So I've wanted to try these for so long. I just always thought it would be more time consuming than it actually is, but you can put these on in a pinch if you want. So basically all you do, you grab one of these little stickies, they just come as a two, rip it apart, then you grab one of these pieces and thread the little thing, whatever that thing is called, thread that through the little hole that you'll see on the sticky. Grab the other piece, thread that through the hole on that sticky. And then basically what you do is you'll look at your face and see where you want a little bit of a lift. I like mine on the outer corner of my eyebrows, so I'm gonna stick my tapes just right about here. So I already have my foundation done, but I'd probably do these on bare skin. So basically what I'm going to do is I took the backing off the little sticky pad and I'm going to place it right here, kind of on the angle that I want it to go upwards, and I'm going to place it onto the skin and kind of a little bit onto the hairline as well. Give it a good press. If you have really oily skin and you're doing this, you can just clean up the skin with a little bit of alcohol or witch hazel or something first. And then this one, make sure they're kind of even on both sides. I'm gonna stick it kind of on the skin, kind of on the hairline, the end of that brow area there. Give it a good press. And then basically all I do is just take my hair in half, and then all you do is you grab these little guys. Then you just take these two little clips and then join them together at whatever tightness you want. I'm not going to go too tight because sometimes it can look like a bad facelift. Stick them together, undo your little hair knot, and then that's it. So I usually just try to wear a middle part that lays over the side of my face with this. You can also wear a wig, obviously, because that will cover it really well. And there we go, that is it. So it just gives you a nice little eye lift on the side there. This isn't something that I would do all the time. As I'm aging, my eyes are starting to hood a little bit, so I like this look because it just gives me a little extra play space on my eyelids. Alright, so let's start off with these navy smoky eyes. I'm going to pop a little bit of this e.l.f. primer all over the eyelid and just tap that in with my finger. You can see the sunlight creeping in on behind me. I never really film in the morning, so I never get that nice morning sunlight that this room has to offer. It's usually just ring lights. For this look, I'm going to be using the Noctex Future Grunge palette. It pretty much has all of the colors that I'm going to need on this top little line right there. Basically, what you're going to need for this look is a medium brown, a navy, and an orange, a nice creamy orange. So to start off, I'm going to take this medium brown on a big fluffy blending brush. This is the Cosette 175. And I'm just going to start by popping that into the crease of the eye. Just basically building up a nice blended out but defined crease. So once that is done, I'm going to grab this Linda Hallberg Artia Flash pencil, and I'm just going to scribble that all over the lid of the eye just to build up a strong navy color. If you don't want this step really bold, then skip the eyeliner and just settle with the primer. I'm just going to pat this in with my finger just to blend out the outer edge just before it dries and sets. This doesn't have to be too precise or anything. We're just basically getting that base color down. And then I'm also going to go underneath the eye. I'm just gonna buff that in with a brush before it sets. If that pencil does set before you get a chance to blend it out, you can just use your brush and just run it over the tip of the pencil, and then just use the brush to lightly buff out any harsh edges. For the navy shadow, I'm going to take that Cosette 240 brush and just grab this navy shadow right here, and I'm going to start by pressing that onto the navy eyeliner that we've built up already. The reason why I wanted this eyeliner down first is because I wanted the navy to be stronger on the lid, and then I'm just going to lightly buff it through the crease of the eye. If you want a lot more of a softer look, you can use no eyeliner as a base and just use a regular primer, and that will give you a softer navy look. If you want more of a blue-black look, you can use a black eyeliner and then put the navy on top of that, and that'll give you more of a subtle dark navy blue. I'm going to also tap that navy on top of the color underneath. So now that's done, I'm going to take this little 220 Cosette brush and just a little bit of the navy on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to use that through the crease of the eye just to blend out that navy just a little bit, to smudge it into that transition color just a little more. And I'm going to use that to also wing out the eye just a little bit as well. If you're winging out the eye, you can kind of follow this bottom line underneath and wing it out that way, and that will be more flattering for the face. I'm gonna wipe that brush off pretty good in one of these little color switch things. Now I'm going to go in with this yellowy orangey color. This is going to blend and it's going to warm up a little bit. As you all know from color theory, orange and blue create more of that muddy type of look, which I'm totally okay with for this look. So it's going to tone down the crease of the eye a little bit, and anywhere where there isn't blue, it's just going to add that nice pop of that orangey warmth. I always love adding orange to a blue eye because I just feel like it just makes it a little more flattering and a little more interesting. Every time I've ever worn just blue by itself, I always feel so bleh. And then just use that same brush and color underneath the eye just to blend that in under there too. If you don't want it as big and blown out underneath, you just use a smaller brush like the little Cosette 185. I'm going to grab this big 165 brush with a little bit of this color on it here, and I'm just going to use that to sweep out those outer edges of the blend. Anywhere where you feel like it's just grabbing a little bit, you can use this color just because it's very light, just to buff everything in. For the underneath here, I'm just going to use my concealer brush just to sweep that in the right direction a little bit to go with the flow and shape of the eye. Just gonna go and grab that medium-sized fluffy brush and a little bit of the orange shadow, and I'm just going to really buff that through the crease of the eye. The real aim of this game is just to keep going in and adding little spots and blending back in so that you get that nice blend between the blue and the orange. So now that I'm satisfied with that blend, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury eye cheat on the inside of the eye. You could use navy blue, you could use black for this, depending on how dramatic you want the look to be. For the brows, I'm just going to add a little bit of the Lime Crime Bushy Brow. Often when I use these eye lift tapes, I end up doing like a really harsh, crazy, like straight eyebrow. And while it looks good, it's very dramatic. So I'm just going to play it a little softer today because I am going to work to do people's eyebrows. So just using a little bit of this brow gel just gives me a little bit of a tint. And because of the straight line of it, anywhere that I need a little extra coverage where I have gaps in the hair, I just give it a little bit more of a push along the skin there just to color it in a smidge. But basically I'm just using this just to comb my eyebrows up a little bit and just make them a little more textured. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes and add some mascara, and you guys have all seen that done a million times before, so I'll be right back. For cheeks, I'm just going to add a little bit more of the Linda Hallberg Cigar to contour. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this Cosette color right here, just because it's a little bit more of a matte peachy color. For highlight, I'm just going to grab a little bit of this Ofra highlight in all the lights. I just kind of grab more so these lighter colors right there and just use a real little bit just along the top of the cheekbone. This highlighter is pretty intense, so you don't need a lot of it to see it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this one right here, just to the inner corner of the eye, just a tiny bit, just to finish it off a little bit. Lips, I'm going to take Necromancy Healing Stone, just because it's a nice, good, easy nude to wear with this. I'm going to add a little bit of Solace Mortem to it, which is a really nice yellowy poopy mustard color. Just to add a little bit of warmth back in and complement that yellowy mustard orange we have on the eyes. I'm going to add a little bit of Lip Gloss Boss. So there we go, guys. That is my navy smokes with the instant eye lift. So I did do this on my channel probably about 2.5 years ago, and looking back at it, there were quite a few products that I used in it that weren't cruelty free. So I thought I'd do an updated version of it, and kind of, you know, our styles have changed a little bit since then as well. The way that I like my makeup is a little bit different, so it's always fun to go back and revisit an older look as well and cringe at your old YouTube videos. Oh my gosh. So I just want to show you guys how this looks without the little eye lift as well, just so you can get a good visual of how saggy my eyelids are. No. Alright, so I'm unclipping it and I'm just going to let it kind of hang down like that. So you can see it does give the, if I look straight ahead without flexing my brows, so it does give the eyebrows quite a nice lift, and it just gives you a little more playing space on your eyes. I wasn't blessed with massive eyelids like I am Leah, so sometimes it's just fun just to give a little more room on the eyelid. So for this look, I did use all of the Noctex Future Grunge palette. This palette is only $32, and I have an affiliate code for you as well below, but certainly these are colors that you can buy alone if you don't want to buy a whole palette. Definitely Cosette has these colors available in all singles, and Makeup Geek as well, so check those out if you don't want to buy a total palette for this look. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this revamped, cruelty-free and vegan version of a navy smoky eye. This is a look that I've been doing for so long. One of my makeup teachers back in school, I think it was one of my favorites, Juliet, she used to do a navy smoky eye with orange to warm it up. And that was a long time ago, probably 12 years ago now that I was in makeup school. So this has been a look that's kind of been evolving for a really long time for me, and I just always love adding a little bit of orange or warmth to a navy smoky eye. For me, it feels more wearable if I just wear blue by itself. There's something about it, I just feel like I look sickly in a bad way, not in a good way, not in a nice dead crack eye way. Anyways guys, thanks for tuning in and happy 2019, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for my next video. See ya!